सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः ईश्वरो मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So we can chant together. Tapoyagnada परित्यज्य सर्वं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि. दयालुं गुरुं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं प्रशान्तं समाराध्य भक्त्या विचार्य स्वरूपं यदाप्नोति तत्त्वं निदिध्यास्य विद्वान् ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि. यदानन्दरूपं प्रकाशस्वरूपं निरस्तप्रपञ्चं परिच्छेदहीनम् अहं ब्रह्मवृत्त्यैकगम्यं तुरीयं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि. So here Bhashyakara Shankaracharya ji is helping us to contemplate upon the true nature of oneself, which is Brahma. So how to meditate, how to contemplate? He is using different words to reveal Brahman which is being contemplated upon. And yesterday we saw Prakasha Swarupam. I am Brahma, which is Prakasha Swarupam, and Prakasha stands for consciousness. Prakasha is a metaphor for consciousness. Consciousness or Brahman is not light. Yesterday we saw the similarity and dissimilarities. Prakasha is an electromagnetic force or electromagnetic waves, whereas Brahman is not some electromagnetic wave, and therefore it is just a metaphor to convey the idea that Brahman is self-evident. And Ananda Rupam. Ananda Rupam means it is Anantam, limitless. And since this limitless alone is there behind this experiential happiness, therefore it is called Ananda Rupam. It is of the nature of Ananda. But as we saw yesterday, there are two types of Ananda. The word Ananda conveys two meanings. One is reflected experiential happiness and other is original happiness. Bimbananda. One is called Pratibimbananda, reflected happiness. Other is Bimbananda, the original happiness. And original happiness, Ananda, is in the form of Purnatvam, limitlessness. So I am of the nature of fullness, which is the basis for all experiential happiness. Alright, then the next word is Nirasta Prapancham. I, Brahman, am free from Prapancha. Nirasta means free from. Prapancha means the world. I am free from Prapancha, the world. Prapanchate iti prapancha, that which is elaborated, manifested in details, that is called prapancha. And sometimes they give this explanation in a slightly different manner, which is not as per grammar, but interesting, and that is pancha pancha vidyate yasmin, that in which there is fivefold things Like we have got Pancha Sthula Mahabhutas, Pancha Sukshma Mahabhutas, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Jnanendriyani. So many Pancha is there, therefore also it's called Prapancha. But that is not a grammar based meaning. So chalta hai, but it is not a grammar based meaning. So as per grammar, this derivation is not there. See, people don't know Sanskrit, then it goes well. And also, even if they know Sanskrit, it is one way of looking at this word Prapancha. Anyway, don't bother about that word. Prapancha means the world. The world means what you are experiencing, consisting of all these buildings, mountains, rivers, stars, all of them, black hole included in that. All of them constitute the world. And this world is not there in the true nature of Brahma, therefore it is called Nirasta Prapancham. And this idea we have seen earlier. What is the relationship between Brahma and Prapancha, the world? We can understand this with the help of the example of this gold and ornament, or waves and water. What is the relationship? Ornaments do not exist apart from gold, but gold does not have ornamentness. All bangles, all chains, all rings, all of them exist in gold only. They have their being in gold. But gold does not have chainness, gold does not have ringness, bangleness. Means in the nature of what gold is, chainness is not included. Whatever this what is called substantial characteristic gold has, whatever is a number is there, atom number, etc., in that gold is not included. This ornament is not included. Ringness is not included. For gold to be gold, it does not have to be a ring. It does not have to be a bangle. And in that sense we say all the ornaments, even though they exist in gold, but in gold ornaments are not there. And that similarly, Brahman, which is the Karanam of everything, the entire Prapancha, that Prapancha does not exist apart from Brahman, but in Brahman, Prapancha is not there. So, Nishprapancham, and this idea is conveyed in Mandukya Upanishad, 7th mantra, Prapanchopashamam. Prapanchasya upashamaha yasmin, that in which there is a negation of the Prapancha. By this, what we are conveying, that Brahman appears as Prapancha, Brahman has not become Prapancha. Prapancha means the world. It has not become, it has not transformed into the world. The worldness is not intrinsic to Brahman. And that is why what Vedanta says, what Vedanta is saying is different from the principle, that particular philosophy there, pantheism. Pantheism seems to be saying similar thing. People think that, oh, that Vedanta also is saying same thing. Pantheism says that God has become the world. Now God is not there. Like, milk, you have made curd, then you don't have milk. After you have made this curd out of milk, can you make tea out of that? No. So similarly, they say that earlier there was God, and that God has become the world. So everything is God. But what? God which is transformed into this world. So this is Swami, they are also telling that everything is nothing but God. But they consider that God is no more there. What is there is the world. Like milk is not there, only curd is available. Whereas, what we are saying is that Brahman appears as the world without undergoing any modification. And this idea we convey technically by using the expression that Brahman is Vivarta Karanam. It is the cause for the appearance of this world. It has not become the world. In Brahman, the worldness is not there. And therefore, any modification or any impurity of the world does not touch Brahman, Nirasta Prapancham. And that Brahman I am. Parichhedahinam. Next word is Parichhedahinam. Hinam means free from. Parichheda means limitation. I am free from limitations. And in Shastra we talk about three types of limitation. Time-wise limitation, space-wise limitation, object-wise limitation. For example, this pot is time-wise limited. Why? Because it was not there before a particular time and it will not be there after some time. In fact, we should write a birth date of this pot somewhere. So I can tell that also. So some years ago it was not there, and after 1 or 2 courses it will not be there. The pot also has to get moksha, no? So, so after some time it will be broken while cleaning or something will happen. So it is time-wise limited in the sense it obtains in a particular period of time. What about your body? Body also is what? Time-wise limited. It was born on a particular day and it will die on a particular day. Expiry date everybody has got. Only thing Bhagavan doesn't write. Well, he should write is being a manufacturer, but he doesn't write. So why, if he writes, there will be a big problem. Because people will try to manipulate. Will not manipulate. And also while living, they will be afraid. Imagine somebody knows that I am going to die. What will be his life? So there can be, some people say it will be good also. Because when you know that I am going to die after a few days, then you will not fight with people. Why to fight for small 5 rupees, 10 rupees, anyway it will go away. But it will create fear among people around. You will not be able to enjoy. You always remember, see this fellow tomorrow will not be there, expiry date aa gaya. So you will not be able to enjoy it. Whereas now we are able to enjoy. That we don't know what will happen. Those people who Titan submarine they went, they were enjoying. Their relatives also say tata, tata, and then tata, tata. So they could enjoy till the last. And in the submarine also they might have enjoyed till it exploded. So that's why perhaps it is not done. But we all know it has got expiry date. So our body is time-wise limited. Pot, rivers, mountains, trees, all of them time-wise limited. Then space-wise. Pot work is not done. So brought to duty again. So space-wise also limited. It is here only, not there. Our body also what? Space-wise limited. However big it is, but space-wise limited. So time-wise limited, space-wise limited. Object-wise also limited. That sometimes people find difficult to understand. What is object-wise limited? It is a pot and pot alone. What is this pot? It is not a book. It is not a clip. It is not book stand. It has got only the status of being a pot and not anything else. This is called object-wise limited. Similarly, your body, your mind, it is object-wise limited. Time-wise, space-wise, and object-wise. Whereas Brahman is Parichhedahinam. It does not have limitation of time. Why? It is never born. Because everything is born of it. So what can become the cause for it? It is not born. It cannot die. It will die into what? There is nothing into which it can die. So it does not have time-wise limitation. And space-wise limitation is not there because the very space is born of Brahman. And cause is always greater in terms of pervasiveness compared to the effect. So Brahman being the cause of even space, Brahman is not limited by space. And the object wise also it is limitless because everything has its being in Brahman. Everything being product of Brahman, Brahman is not limited by any object. In the sense, no object can displace this what Brahman is. Means when you are seeing pot, you cannot dismiss the clay thoughts. Clay is in and through all pots. No pot can limit clay. Similarly, no object can limit Brahman because everything is born of Brahman. The very existence of everything it belongs to Brahman, and therefore no object is independent of, different from Brahman. Therefore, Brahman does not have object-wise limitation. Since nothing exists apart from Brahman, therefore Brahman is Vastu Parichhedahinam. Therefore, Parichhedahinam. And remember, all these descriptions are for that Brahman which is myself, because that is how we are going to conclude Tad Brahma Aham Asmi. That Brahman I am. All right. Now, in the next sentence, one more understanding is given, that this Brahman which is Nirasta Prapancham Parichhedahinam. Parichhedahinam can be positively presented, that it is all the time available, everywhere there, and it is there appearing in the form of everything. That Brahman, how can it be known? In which manner it is known? That Brahman cannot be known as a particular object, nor it can be known in the form of a particular state. Many people think that Brahman is available in a particular state called Samadhi. In Brahmi Sthiti alone Brahman is available. So some people, they limit Brahman in a particular state. Whereas our Upanishad reveals Brahman is not limited to any particular state. It is available in all states without being confined to any state. Therefore, Brahman is not an object, Brahman is not a particular state. Then how is Brahman to be understood? Brahman is to be understood in only one way, and that is claiming oneself to be Brahman. Imagine if somebody comes and asks me, do you know Swami Sadatmananda? So what shall I say? Do you know Swami Sadatmananda? Say, do you know? Can I say I don't know? I cannot say. Can I say I know him? He is asking me, do you know Sadatmananda? Do you know him? I cannot say I know him as a person. Because know him is like as somebody, so many people, one Sadatmananda, I know him. So can I say I don't know? Can I say I know? I can't say either way. What do I say generally? I am Sadatmananda. Otherwise, I have to do some drama. That this queen who recently died, UK. So one person in UK, he from America, he was a tourist there, and this queen used to go for a walk along with her secretary. Some name William or something was there, and both of them were going, and one tourist asked from the US, that, where are you from? He said, I stay in London, but I come here also. Oh, how many years? He says, so last 25, 30 years, some years I have been coming here. Oh, then you must have seen this queen. Do you know? Then he said, the queen said, what? I don't know, but my secretary knows. Very good answer. It's true, because the secretary knows. As an object, secretary only knows. Then the tourist asked the secretary that, how is this queen, This is very quarrelsome. And then in fact they said, oh, you are someone who has seen this queen. I would like to take the picture with you. And I said, this person, no, the secretary, he knows. So the tourists were very much impressed by the secretary. Oh, you are someone who have seen queen so well. So they took the picture, and queen took the picture in that. So that type of situation happens. For Pujya Swamiji also it happened. That one person was traveling with Pujya Swamiji in the flight, and he was going to Rishikesh, and some conversation, he said, I am going to see one Swami. That who is that Swami? Then he took out that address slip, and that person was very happy. Pujya Swami says, I was just half under his thigh. So, and he was asking me, do you know this Swami Dayananda? So Pujya Swamiji, what will he say? I am Dayananda. Similarly, if somebody asks, do you know Brahman? What should you say? I am Brahman. The day you can say, I am Brahman. When somebody asks, do you know Brahman? Yes, I am Brahman. I don't know Brahman. I am Brahman. And that idea that Brahman is to be understood in the form of claiming I am Brahma is conveyed in the next sentence. Aham Brahma Vrutyaika Gamyam. Gamyam is to be understood. This Brahman is that which is to be understood. Eka, only. Only by what? Vritti. Vrutya. By the vritti, by the thought. What is the thought? Aham Brahma, I am Brahma. So this claiming is in the form of a thought. I am Brahma, that is a thought. And that is the claiming of Brahman. And by claiming Brahman alone, claiming Brahman as oneself alone, one can know Brahman. So Aham Brahma Vrutya Ekagamyam means Brahman is that which is available only through the thought, I am Brahman. There is no other way of knowing Brahman. Other way will be incomplete way of knowing Brahman. Complete and correct way of knowing Brahman is Aham Brahma. The culmination of Brahma Jnanam is in Aham Brahma. Anything else you reach, you say Brahman is Satyam, Brahman is Jnanam, Brahman is Anantam, Brahman is Jagat Karanam. Still, you have not reached the complete address of Brahman. You are somewhere nearby. Like sometimes we are searching for the house, somewhere nearby, but not exact house you have reached. Similarly, you have not really understood Brahman completely until you claim yourself to be Brahman. Aham Brahma Vrutya Ekagamyam. So that which is known only through claiming I am Brahman. Here one technical question is raised. Many people have this question. Swamiji, who says I am Brahman? Is Atma saying I am Brahman, or Brahman saying I am Brahman, or this body mind sense complex which is mithya, anatma, that is saying I am Brahman? Both ways there is a problem. Either way you have some difficulties. How? Brahma cannot say I am Brahman. Why? Because Brahman is free from any modification, and without modification action cannot happen, and saying or thinking is an action. To say I am Brahma, some modification has to happen in the locus, because claiming also is a vyavahara, a transaction, and transaction can happen only in that locus where modification is possible. And Brahman is free from modification. We have seen Nirvikara, it is changeless. So how changeless Brahman can claim I am Brahman? And if you say no, Brahman is not claiming, this mind is claiming, or my organ of speech is claiming, then it is not a statement of fact, because this organ is not Brahman. Mind is very limited, how can it claim Brahman? So if Anatma is claiming, the Jada Anatma is claiming, then it is not a statement of fact. So what is Brahma cannot claim, and what claims is not Brahman. That type of situation. So who tells I am Brahman is not Brahman, and what is Brahman cannot tell. So who is saying I am Brahman? For that our answer is that combination of the two is saying I am Brahman. Brahman with the upadhi of this body mind sense complex is saying, is claiming I am Brahma. In fact, we go one step further. We say that not only this claiming is done by the mixture, all transactions are done by the mixture only. Like gold, you can make ornaments only when you mix something. From pure gold you cannot make ornaments. You have to have, that is why you have carats. How many carats you can have? Maximum 24 carats. Maximum 24 into 4, 96%. Maximum. Generally 23, 22. So there has to be a mixture, then only you can make ornament. So gold is available for the transaction as ornaments only when some mix-up happens. Similarly, this combination of Brahma and body mind sense complex is doing all vyavahara. Hana, upadana, we have got different types of vyavahara. Hana, upadana, abhivadana, these vichara, all vyavaharas are taking place only in the mixture. Then people will say, Swami, then isn't it a wrong thing to say that mixture, the body mind sense complex is, which is not Brahman, is claiming I am Brahman? So combination should not tell, only consciousness should tell that I am Brahman, then only it is a correct statement. Because body mind sense complex is limited. So limited aspect, how can it claim limitless? For that our answer is, even though claiming is done by the mixture, but while claiming, when I say I am Brahma, in that I am, the body mind sense complex is not included. So I am Brahman I am saying, but I am referring to what? Only consciousness, not this modified body mind sense complex, limited body mind sense complex. Like when I say I am seeing this clip. Now who is speaking I am seeing? The organ of speech. So tongue is telling I am seeing. So one who is not seeing is telling I am seeing, and one who is seeing is not telling. My eyes are not telling. So my eyes which are seeing, they are not telling that I am seeing. And one who is not seeing, that tongue is telling I am seeing. But do you get any time any conflict? Do you say, how can you say I am seeing? You are speaking with the tongue, and tongue doesn't see. Your eyes should tell, I am seeing. Do you have any such conflict? Until you study Vedanta, you will. After studying Vedanta, you may have such question. Anyway, so that time, what is happening? That even though I am saying I am seeing, in that eye, consciousness and all the organs are included. But in that, I am identifying with the eyes. I exclude the organ of speech. And identifying with the eyes, I say, I am seeing. And therefore, there is no incorrectness. Similarly here, aham brahma vrutyaika gamyam. What is that Brahma? Brahman is that which can be claimed only as I am. No other way it can be understood. And it is Turiyam. Turiyam means, this morning we saw that Turiya literally means the fourth. The Chatur Shabda is there, and that by grammar rules, the Chakara there is drop, and the Chatur becomes Chaturiya. Iya Pratyaya comes. Cha Pratyaya and then Iya it becomes. If I remember correctly, Cha Pratyaya. So Iya, Chaturiya. And from that, Cha is dropped, Turiya happens. So Turiya means the fourth one only. In fact, I can say 1, 2, 3, this is fourth. This is a Turiya. Whomsoever I want to make Turiya, I can make. Depends upon counting. I can say 1, 2, 3, he is Turiya. Turiya simply means fourth only. People, attribute some mysticism on Turiya. Literally, Turiya means the fourth. If you are the fourth child of in your family, you are Turiya. And anything can be considered, anything which is fourth is Turiya. Then it is it is called Turiya in a particular context. And as I told this morning, in Mandukya, Atma is presented as the Chatushpat. It has got 4 quarters. And the 3 quarters we saw, Vishwa, Tejasa, Prajna. And the 4th one, which is the true nature of Atma, what really Atma is called Turiyam. So Turiyam means what really I am. The consciousness which is in and through all 3 padas, but not confined to any pada, and having the nature distinct from the 3 padas. That reality is called Turiyam, and that is otherwise called Brahma. So I, Brahman, am Turiyam means I am present in all 3 padas, all 3 versions of Atma, and I am not confined to any pada, and I am having nature which is distinct from all 3 padas. Padas means Vishwa, waker, Tejasa, dreamer, and Prajna, sleeper. I am distinct from them, but in and through all of them. That Turiya I am. And that Turiyam Brahma, Tadeva Aham Asmi. I am that Brahma and Brahma alone. All right. Now in the next sloka, some more facts about this Brahman that I am are revealed. Yadajnanato bhati vishvam samastam vinashtam cha sadyo yadatma prabodhe manovagatitam vishuddham vimuktam param brahma nityam tadevahamasmi. Param brahma nityam tadeva. In Shastra, Brahman is revealed in two ways, through two types of definitions. One is called Tatastha Lakshanam, indirect definition, and the other is called Swarupa Lakshanam, direct definition. Tatastha Lakshanam means definition. A particular attribute because of which the thing defined is distinguished from others. That is called Lakshana. Lakshana means a defining attribute. Sometimes we simply define as definition. Lakshana means definition. But actually what it means is defining attribute. Like for cow, we give the Lakshanam. Sasnadi Matvam Gotvam. That is the definition of cow. Sasna means a dew lamp. You know that a particular skin, hanging skin, that is called sasna. So that cow is that which has got this dew lamp. Therefore, Jersey cow, according to our definition, is not a cow. Jersey cow, you know what is Jersey cow? Therefore, generally I encourage people that if you want to give Danam, Go Danam, give the Deshi cow. Means that cow which has got dew lamp. Then only technically it is called cow. Sasnadi Matvam Gotvam. Anyway, so Sasnadi Matvam means the status of having dew lap. That is the Lakshana, definition of a cow. See, our Shastra is so particular. What is the definition of cow? That also is given. In our Shastra, we will have definition for everything. Kambu Grivadi Matvam Ghatatvam, like that. So, if you ask him what is Ghata, they will say Ghataha, which has got Kambu Griva, which has got the neck like the conch, Pruthu Budno Dara, which has got the big belly, big basis. So, we have definition for Ghata also. Ghata, you know, it's not like that definition. So, we have got Lakshana for cow. So, what is the meaning of Lakshana? Lakshana means a defining characteristic. The characteristic because of which the defined entity is distinguished from the others. By the Sasnadi, that dew lap, I can distinguish the cow from others. So, the defining characteristic is called Lakshanam. So, Lakshanam ka Lakshanam hota hai. So, defining characteristic. And for Brahman, the Lakshanam, will make it simple, definition is given in two ways. One is Tatastha Lakshana, means indirect definition. Indirect definition means the defining characteristic which is not intrinsic to Brahman, but good enough to distinguish Brahman from the others. Like I define Dasharatha as Ramasya Pita Dasharatha. Who is Dasharatha? Rama's father. So, it is not being the Rama's father is not intrinsic to Dasharatha, because before Rama came he was there. So, that Lakshana, that definition will be called what? Tatastha Lakshana. Or I define the person who is wearing yellow shirt. So, who is Devadatta? Who is wearing yellow shirt. Yellow shirt is not intrinsic to the person, but it is good enough to distinguish from others. So, that type of definition which is not intrinsic to the entity, but good enough to distinguish it from other entities, that is called Tatastha Lakshana. So, Tatastha Lakshana is indirect definition, not intrinsic to the entity, but good enough to distinguish the defined entity from others. So Brahman, Tatastha Lakshana is, it is Jagat Karanam. It is the cause of this world. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yam prayanti abhisamvishanti tad Brahma. So in Taittiriya Upanishad Bhruguvalli, Brahman is defined like that. Brahman is that from which all are born, all are sustained, all resolve back. That is Brahman. That is called Tatastha Lakshana. And Swarupa Lakshana means the very nature itself becomes the Lakshana. When the defining attribute is the very nature of the entity, then that particular attribute is called Swarupa Lakshana, direct definition. Means it defines the entity itself in terms of what the entity really is, intrinsically is. That is called Swarupa Lakshana. Like if I say fire is Aushnyam, Ushna Swarupaha Agnihi. Fire is of the nature of heat. So this definition is what? Direct definition. Why? Because heat is the nature of fire. And that Lakshana is, in Sanskrit, is called Swarupa Lakshana. For Brahman, Swarupa Lakshana is Satyam. It is unnegatable existence. That is the Swarupa Lakshanam of Brahman. Means unnegatable existence is the nature of Brahman. Unlike Jagat Karanam, being the cause is not intrinsic to Brahman. In the nature of Brahman, this Karanatvam, being the cause, is not intrinsic. And therefore, Brahman, when it is said Jagat Karanam, it is indirect definition, whereas Brahman is unnegatable existence, is a direct definition. And when we are giving this indirect definition of Brahman as Jagat Karanam, then question is raised, what type of Karanam it is? Then we say it is material cause of this world. Means it is Upadana Karanam. So it is which Karanam? Material cause and efficient cause as well. But in this context, efficient cause, even though Brahman is efficient cause as well, but in this context we are focusing on material cause. So Brahman is material cause, like clay is material cause for all pots. So some people will stop with that, but further question is raised, what type of material cause it is? Like so this person is what? Oh, he is a Brahmana. Brahmana, further they will ask, Iyer or Iyengar? And then Iyer also they will ask, the Vadagama or something is there, not twice. Yeah. Further ask. Similarly here they will ask, their Upadana Karanam, which type of Upadana Karanam? Because there are two types of Upadana Karanam, two types of material cause. One is called changing material cause, Parinami Upadana Karanam. The material cause which is undergoing a change. Like milk is Upadana Karanam, the material cause for curd. But what type of material cause? Parinami, undergoing a change, changing material cause. Whereas another type of material is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam. It is the material cause for the apparent product. It is seemingly material cause. Without undergoing any change, it becomes a material cause. That type of material cause is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam, changeless material cause. So two types of material cause, changing material cause, in Sanskrit it is called Parinami Upadana Karanam, and changeless material cause is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam. What is the example? Rajju Sarpa. Rajju Sarpa. In Vedanta, if Rajju Sarpa has not come, Vedanta is not complete. So at least once it should come. So Rajju, some people don't like Rajju Sarpa. One person told Swamiji, that time I was a brahmachari, he said, give some other example. Every time Rajju Sarpa, Rajju Sarpa. Some allergy ho jata hai. I don't have allergy. In fact, I love it. So Rajju Sarpa. Rajju Sarpa, what is the example? When Rajju means rope, Sarpa means snake. When the rope is not known as the rope, then there is appearance of snake. When the rope is not known as the rope, then there is appearance of snake. So for the snake, the Rajju is called this Vivarta Upadana Karanam. I was smiling because we have a lot of discussion in Vichar Sagara. What is really Upadana Karanam, etc. So I am smiling because Vichar Sagara has got further deeper. So we don't go that deep. Here we, at this level, already we have gone deep. So if we go further deep, we will drown. Therefore, if you want to know further, you listen to our Vichar Sagara class. Sagara, it is told that because you are likely to drown, you get drowned. Alright. So, Rajju is, the rope is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Changeless material cause for this snake. Why? Because Rajju means the rope is not undergoing any change to appear as a snake. Without undergoing any change, the rope appears as the snake. Therefore, the rope is called Vivarta Upadana Karanam. And anything will become Vivarta Upadana Karanam when it is not known. When Rajju, the rope, is not known, then only snake will appear. And similarly here, in Brahma also, with reference to Brahma and Jagat also, similar relationship is there. Brahman is not Parinami Upadana Karanam. Brahman is Vivarta Upadana Karanam. And therefore here, when this Jagat, which is a Vivarta Karya, when does the Jagat appear? When Brahman is not known as Brahman, then only Jagat appears as Jagat. Jagat means the world. The world appears as the world only when Brahman is not known. Just as the snake appears only when the rope is not known. So because of the ignorance alone, ignorance of the rope alone, the snake appears. Similarly, because of the ignorance of Brahman alone, Jagat appears. That is said here. Yad Agnanataha Samastam Vishwam Bhati. So I have to land here now. So after so much running, so much round and round, we have to land now. Yad Agnanataha, Yasya Agnanataha, Samastam Vishwam Bhati. Yad refers to Brahman. That Brahman I am. I am that Brahman because of whose ignorance. Yad Agnanataha, Taha is Panchami Vibhakti. Because of whose ignorance, I am that Brahma because of whose ignorance, Samastam Vishwam, the entire world, Bhati, appears. Appears as an existent, independently existent real entity. So what is the message conveyed? Because of the ignorance of Brahman alone, the entire world appears as an existent, independently existent entity. Why? Because you do not know the fact. What is the fact? All that is appearing is really Brahma. Sarvam Brahma Eva. Now this Sarvam Brahma Vakya, people, many people even after studying Vedanta, they don't understand the implication. One Swamiji told very nicely, He says if you have not understood Sarvam Brahman properly, what type of conclusion you will have? You just see. You have heard this Sarvam Brahma, everything is Brahma. And you have also heard that Jagat, which is Sarvam, Jagat is Brahma. Sarvam is Jagat. Jagat is Brahma. Jagat is Satyam or Mithya? Mithya. So, Sarvam Jagat is Brahma. Jagat is Mithya. Therefore, Brahman will be what? A is equal to B, B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to C. So, Sarvam Jagat is Brahma, Jagat is Mithya, therefore Brahman will be what? Mithya. That type of conclusion will come. So, you generally what happens, the two sentences you don't bring together. If you bring, then there will be short circuit. So, some explosion will happen. So, why this type of conclusion we land in? Because the meaning of Sarvam Brahman is to be understood correctly. Sarvam Brahma means Sarvam Nasti, Brahma Eva Asti. So, what you are seeing as Sarvam Jagat, Sarvam is all, the pluralistic world is really not there. What is there is Brahman alone. So, Sarvam Nasti, Brahma Eva Asti. The pluralistic world really does not exist. What exists is Brahman alone. In this manner, we have to understand the word Sarvam Brahma. If you have understood in this manner, no problem. Because we are saying what? Sarvam Nasti. All does not, this world really does not exist. It has got only seeming existence. It does not have real existence. And therefore, Sarvam Nasti, Brahmaiva Asti. This is the meaning of Sarvam Brahma. And therefore, Sarvam is Mithya is conveyed by this sentence. Therefore, we don't have any problem. All right. So, this Jagat appears because of the ignorance of Brahman. You are saying that this is clip only. It is not Brahman. This is this sheet, a paper only, not Brahman. Nobody feels that it is Brahman. Why? Because of the ignorance of what Brahman is. So, because of ignorance of Brahman, the world appears as a real entity. And Vinashtam cha sadyaha. Sadya means immediately. Vinashtam. Kim vinashtam? Samastam Vishwam vinashtam. The entire world is destroyed, negated. Sadya immediately. When? Yadatma prabodhe. On knowing which self, on knowing which self, this entire world is negated. Means when there is Brahma Jnanam, then the world is negated. There is no world, what is there is Brahman alone. To explain this, generally we give the example of this Swapna. I, the waker, enter into the dream and project the dream world. And when I am in the dream, then I consider all the objects in the dream as real. So, why the dream world is experienced? Because there is a veil, ignorance of the waker. Without the ignorance of wakerhood, you cannot have the experience of dream world. Like when you go to theatre, before starting the movie, what do? They switch off the lights. After switching off the lights, only they start movie. Similarly, our movie, dream world movie, starts when? When there is a darkness, there is a veil of darkness on the wakerhood status. So, yad ajnanataha, because of the ignorance of which waker alone, samastam vishwam, the entire dream world appears. Bhati means appears. I am just giving the example part. So, because of the ignorance of the waker alone, the dream world appears. And yadatma prabodhe, when the waker is known, means then when the waking up happens, sadhya, immediately, this dream world is vinashtam, is destroyed, negated, in fact destroyed, they are no more available. So just as because of the ignorance of the waker alone the dream world appears, and because of the knowledge of which waker alone the dream world is destroyed, similarly because of the ignorance alone, ignorance of which Brahman alone, this entire world appears as real entity. And when this Brahman is known truly, then this world is no more there as the world. The world does not exist as an independent real entity. The world is negated. In the vision of a wise person, the world does not exist as an independent entity. What is there is Brahman alone. This Jagat is only seemingly existent, not really existent. That is called Sadhyaha Vinashtam. Sadhya is Avyaya. It is immediately Vinashtam. And this idea is given very beautifully in one Tamil song. Tamil say that what? Marattai? Marattai? Martadu, Maratai, something is there. Maratai Nai, something. But in Sanskrit also it is there. I don't know whether from Sanskrit it has gone to Tamil or Tamil to Sanskrit. More likely from Sanskrit to Tamil, but Tamilians will not accept that. So they will say, no, Swami, from our Tamil it has gone to Sanskrit. Whatever you, but I know Sanskrit version because of Tamil Ramba Kunchum Theriyum. So there, there is a beautiful shloka. It is quoted in Swarajya Siddhi. It says, Dantini daru vikare daru tiro bhavati. In Gujarati, daru means liquor. So, but in Sanskrit, daru means wood. So, danti means elephant. So, this shloka has got a background. In some place, most probably in Kerala, so from wood, a huge frightening elephant is made outside some palace or something. Very frightening. Elephant is made. And from distance, somebody sees this and afraid. And so why? Because this is elephant. That is a very, very ferocious elephant. Therefore, person is running away. Why? Because he is seeing the elephant. He is not seeing wood. Dantini means elephant. You have to supply drishyamane daru vikare. Daru vikara means the product of wood. When the elephant, which is the product of wood, is seen as elephant, daru tiro bhavati. The wood is lost sight of. So when you are seeing the elephant and frightening elephant, that time you are missing what? That there is wood. So wood is missed. If you are seeing it is wood only, you will not be frightened. So when you are seeing a frightening elephant, then wood is missed. Daru tiro bhavati. And sopi tatraiva. And when you are seeing that Guru will take this fellow, said, I am there. If anything happens, I am there. Come, come, come. I am going ahead. And then he takes this person to that frightening elephant, and he say, it is wood. It is wood. When he is seeing this wood, that time what? That Danti, that frightening elephant disappears. Means elephant, which was a real entity frightening, that disappears when he appreciates wood. So when you appreciate wood, then frightening elephant is gone. When you are seeing the frightening elephant, then wood is lost sight of. Similarly, Jagati Tatha Paramatma. When the world is seen as an independent, frightening, problematic entity, Swamiji, world is too much. People say this, Swamiji, world is too much. When you are seeing the world is too much, that time Paramatma Tiro Bhavati. Paramatma disappears as it were. Paramatma is lost sight of. And Paramatmani api Drishyamane. When Paramatma is understood, then Jagat Tiro Bhavati. Then the world is no more there as a frightening real entity. Similarly, here it is said, this Jagat appears because of Jagat appears as a frightening, problematic, real entity when Paramatma is not known. When Paramatma is known as it is, then Jagat is no more as a real entity, frightening you, creating problem for you. So what is Paramatma? Paramatma is that because of whose ignorance the world appears. Paramatma is that because of whose knowledge the world disappears as a real entity. That Brahman, that Paramatma I am. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamada Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.